Hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, you guys had me cracking up over here. You talking about let's get flummoxed. I'm ready to be flummoxed. You know what? I'm gonna increase all y'all's vocabulary if it's the last thing I do. But welcome to the show. This is what our third or fourth one or something doing this Friday stuff before we get back to DNN in June. But I want to say first, I have enjoyed everybody's comments about the workout routines that I've put up. Those of you who may not know, I was a personal trainer for 12 plus, well, more like 14 years um, around here in the Bay Area at different places. And, I kind of miss it. It was fun and I miss my clients. So I made some nice workouts that you guys can do. They're posted up on the community wall if you want to get in on that. And the next one we're going to do is going to use one of these. This is called a medicine ball. It looks like a little ball, but it's heavy. This one happens to weigh 6 pounds. And so, you can use anything else. People have used like jugs of water that have never been opened and all kind of stuff, just for the weight. But I really like this. I have a couple of these in different weights. So the next routine I post next week is going to be using a medicine ball. So glad to see everybody here. Let's get started with Flummoxed Friday, our second relationship advice column of the week. This one on the cover, it says 23 questions. The boundaries issue is what she wrote. The boundaries issue plus a bonus question. Okay, so that means we got 24 for those of you who, oh, Mary Elizabeth, for those of you who keep track, 24 questions, okay? 23 plus a bonus question. So let's go. Let me take a swig here. Female, 46 to 55 from Fort Worth. I'm 50 years old, dating a man for almost 4 years. His son is 21 and has severe autism and schizophrenia. The family feels like this young man will receive the best care if he's home rather than at a facility. There is a history of physical and mental abuse by this individual towards other family members, one of whom is only 13 years old. There can be no conversation in the household because the son is afraid someone will say something to trigger him. No television can be watched due to his concern for seeing commercials on TV, and that extends to social media. There's no cooking on the stove or oven because he is afraid of fire. He cannot go to restaurants or gyms. TVs are everywhere now. He cannot see political signs when driving, so if they go to a drive-through for food, he has to keep his eyes closed for the drive. Empty parking lots are a problem because he doesn't want to think about businesses being closed down due to the pandemic, which has spurred a whole new litany of problems. He quit school, cannot or will not attend a work skills program. He cannot be around babies due to crying upsetting him. I cannot leave him alone with my dog because I'm afraid he will kill her if she starts to whine. My concern is that I do not see this situation getting any better. But his family members say that he's getting better than he used to be, and they hope he will fully recover. I would like to someday live with my now boyfriend. I cannot live with his son. What do I do? How long do I continue this relationship? It is a very difficult situation, and things just keep getting pushed into the closet and not addressed for fear that this individual will be triggered. I do not feel he's getting the proper care from intense therapy to his hygiene help practices help. No, I can't help you. You being stupid. You 50 years old and you just willingly putting yourself in some trifling stupid situation like this for 4 years. Is this the only dick in Fort Worth? I'm serious right now. This the only man, the only one, and you just got to hang on to him because there's nothing else that you could get. I'm telling you, 4 years, I wouldn't deal with this shit for 4 minutes. Soon as I walked in there and they said he had autism and schizophrenia, Deb would have made a UE and been right back up out the door. One thing I don't do is crazy motherfuckers. And I'm telling you, I just cannot do it. And people be like, well, that's so rude. People have mental health problems. They can't help it. That might be. I'm not saying that they can help it. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to deal with it. Whether they got it by hook, crook, birth, it flew through the sky and landed on them. It dropped down from Mars. I don't care how they got crazy. That's irrelevant. What it is Deb is not going to deal with it. So you a man and you got a crazy son. Well, you don't still have that crazy son, and you not gonna have me. That's just the way it's gonna be. I can't believe this. And there's no cooking on the stove because he's afraid of fire. Take your happy ass in another room then. Don't be in here where the fire is. Problem solved. Go in your room and sit there and stare at the wall and pretend you're watching TV. And then it's like, he don't want to watch TV. He can't be watching TV. Well, then you don't watch TV. You go in your room and close the door and stay in there. Even if he was in a mental institution, they have television in like you know, the main rec room area. They have TVs in there. There's no places food can go. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what you expect from me, but I'm going to tell you this. What you need to do is break up. Thanks, Kim. You need to break up. Go and find a man who is a healthy individual who comes from, has a healthy family dynamic. This is a lot of sickness here, and you're participating in it for some unknown reason that I just do not understand. Question number 2: female in the 60 to 69 age group from Nashville, Tennessee. I am over 60 and was married and divorced 33 years ago. I moved back to this area a few years ago. My ex apparently found out where my house is, and has been driving around for a year hoping to run into me. He finally caught me returning home a couple of weeks ago, asked to speak with me just for a few minutes. He wanted to talk to me. I thought about it, then nodded toward my driveway for him to meet me there. Turns out he didn't have anything special to say, just comments about how I look the same, how am I, etc. He then asked for a kiss. Wait a minute. You got divorced 33 years ago, moved out of this area, and just moved back, and he want to get a kiss? Okay, I'm just trying to understand. I shake my head no. He asked me to get in his car. I shake my head no. We talk for a while, catching up, and then I say I have to go in. He wants to come in and visit, but I have things to do and to visit. He gets my phone number. Well, okay, he must be between girlfriends. He remarried soon after our divorce and got divorced 10 years ago. He's been calling me. I talked to him a long time, sharing funny stories, talking a bit about the past. Our divorce was bad. Our marriage was bad. He was even a bad boyfriend. Just about anything you could think of, he did except physical abuse. He was emotionally abusive, dishonest, unfaithful, critical, unemployed, leading a secret life, uncaring. I don't know why I married him or stayed with him. He was downright cruel after I left. So I need to tell him not to contact me again. Better do that in person so I can remind him some of the things I know he has chosen to forget. I really didn't want him to know or remember the things he did. Or should I just tell him over the phone? Should I remind him how hurt I was at the end of our marriage, or just act nonchalant while I tell him not to call me, giving an explanation? Truth is, I'm still hurt. When I think of the things he did to me, I get very upset. I don't think I want him to know how upset I am, though. I don't want him to know he still has any power over me. Oh my God. No wonder Candace said this is the boundaries issue. We only on letter two, and neither one of these women have any. Is this going to be like this the whole column? Okay, first of all, let's go back to when you saw him walking down the street, and you nodded towards your driveway for him to meet you there. You were at that moment supposed to tell him, you know what? I divorced you 33 years ago. I have nothing to say to you. Leave me alone before I file a restraining order on you for stalking and harassment. Get out of my neighborhood. You have no reason to be here. Don't ever come here again. Don't call me. Don't try to talk to me. Stay the fuck out of my life. Okay? That was what you were supposed to say. Not give him your number so that he could call you, so then you could write me to complain about him calling you. Okay, here we go with my phrase. Where they do that at? You gave him the means by which to call you, and now you mad because he's calling you, and you don't want him to call you. Well, you know how you could have kept him from calling you? By not giving him your number. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to change your phone number. You're going to change it. Change it. Get you a Google phone number and let it ring to your phone, okay? And anybody that you know who had, you want to give him the number, you give him that number. And then you get a different number for your real cell phone number. Okay? That's what you need to do. And you want to tell him, remind him of all the stuff that he did. Of course, you want to tell him over the phone. Women who go and meet men who are going to get them in an emotional state of anger risk their lives. For you to go somewhere and meet him to tell him this shit personally, and when he already knows it, is ridiculous. And you're going to put yourself at unnecessary physical risk. You said he never did physical abuse to you, but he did everything else. Why would you even want to have a conversation with him about anything? This was over 33 years ago. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't, you know, I don't understand what this is all about. Wow. Let's move on. Question number 3, male 30 to 39 from Portland, Oregon. There is much discussion these days about male mental health. There's been an increased focus on this topic over the last few years in Western culture with regards to destigmatizing male mental health. As we all know, men often do not want to talk about their feelings. They bottle up their emotions for different reasons, but mainly for so long, societal expectations have centered around a notion that mental strength and stoicism is an important trait in men, and to show otherwise is to demonstrate a level of mental weakness. Yet, despite Western society's increased focus on destigmatizing male mental health, men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. A discussion I had with my girlfriend really got me thinking about one of the real barriers to men letting go of this notion that it's okay to be struggling mentally. She told me that one of my most attractive traits is my mental strength and resilience. I agree that it's one of my strengths, but I think it's easy to appear strong when I have no mental illnesses to speak of and have made good decisions post divorce. So what if I wasn't as mentally strong? She still finds other aspects of my being personality-wise, physically attractive. However, I could still be deemed mentally strong if I were battling with some kind of mental health struggle, like depression or anxiety, which couldn't be concealed. I did not ask my girlfriend this, as I didn't feel it was appropriate to put her on the spot and change what was an otherwise enjoyable and constructive conversation regarding what we love about each other. To be honest, it did take some time for me to think about it before I could even articulate such a topic. For me, I feel like as long as women are attracted to men who are mentally strong and show unwavering stoicism under the pressures of life, then there will always be this barrier for men to opening up and showing vulnerability. Is there a simple answer to this? Can you differentiate male mental strength from men suffering from depression, anxiety, etc.? Does your attraction level decrease with the thought of a man who is struggling mentally and therefore will potentially not display that same level of stoicism as a mentally strong man? Hmm. As the risk of turning this into a gender issue, I want to add that I don't think it's the same for men viewing women with mental health struggles because men generally want to look after their ladies and make them feel safe and secure. Women offer men different things in a relationship. It's just that masculinity and mental illness seem so mutually exclusive, with many or most men not being able to reconcile being able to have both at the same time. What are your thoughts? My thought is that you talk too fucking much and you would be wearing me out if I was in a relationship with you with words. See, the stoicism thing, that includes men who don't talk too much like you do. You use too many words. You could have just got to the point here instead of wandering all around through Asia and then coming back. But I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, he just used all kind of hella words. The question is ultimately, is masculinity and mental illness mutually exclusive? In his mind, they are, and that men don't seem to be able to feel like they're going to be masculine if they show mental weakness. And I'm going to tell you that that is true. Now, you want my opinion. I'm telling you, don't no woman want to be with some man who's flipping the fuck out, who don't have his shit together, who can't think his way out of a paper bag with both ends open and run around like Chicken Little. Oh my God, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Or retreats to the couch or into a bottle or into some drugs or somewhere where he's just escaping and not really dealing with reality or the problems. No woman wants a man like that. Okay, now what you think about that, I don't really give a fuck because you could be just as crazy as you want to, but you're gonna be crazy over there somewhere. You're not gonna be crazy in a relationship with a woman who's got her shit together because she don't want to be bothered with you and your crazy, your schizophrenia, your depression, and your suicidal tendencies and all these other things that these men. I have anxiety, I have this and that. You're a fucked up individual. Okay, go see a shrink about that. You don't need to be in a relationship. Okay, because no woman, anytime a woman gets in a situation, y'all be doing it though. Anytime a woman gets in a situation with a man like that, the forward progress that she should be making as a person in her life, she's not making it because she's too busy taking care of you, like you some kind of little infant. That's a job for you to do for yourself, sir. It's not a woman's job to take care of you and take bandage you up and put you back together like Humpty Dumpty. Don't nobody got time for no broken ass men. You broken, fix yourself. And that includes taking your happy ass to a shrink. Okay, that's part of fixing yourself. Taking responsibility for the fact that you're broken, recognizing it, acknowledging it, and doing something about it. I just, I don't care. I don't like it. Don't be trying to dump your mental illness and your bullshit on me. And definitely not on nobody. I don't really give a fuck what kind of crazy you are. Take your crazy and go over there somewhere. Your depression, your anxiety, your drug addictions, your crazy, your weird family, your special needs people, take them all somewhere else. I don't want to be bothered. And will tell dudes that. And they say, well, that's so cold. You should have empathy. You should have sympathy. No, I don't need to have any of those things. Yeah, I don't even like myself when I'm sick. So what the hell am I must be wasting my time with you for? I'm telling you, when I'm sick, I turn into the worst person. Y'all would not want to be around me because I can't do what I want to do. I just turn into you think I'm an asshole now? This is a fucking picnic. But no. So, sir, what you talking about, you want, women to take responsibility for accepting men who show all this weakness and stuff. And the answer to that, if you get me trying to get me to buy in on that, the answer is a resounding no. You want to position yourself as leaders and, you want people to submit to you and all this old shit you be talking about. God made us first and all this old shit here. Well, then that means you're supposed to take charge. That means you're supposed to take charge not only of yourself, right? Your mental health, your physical health, your financial stability, all of those things are on you to do. The problem is so many men are so fucking weak that they don't want to do it or they don't know how. So then they're sitting up there telling women, well, you need to show us. I don't need to show you a goddamn thing because that means I'm a better man than you. That's what that means. Did you figure that out? That's what that means. I have more going on in the manhood department than you do. And so it's like, then who you think wants you? A strong woman, an alpha woman, don't have no use for a man like that. Now, there's some other chick that like them codependent pygmishas might want you, but you looking at, you want to have somebody who can take charge and make some shit happen. That's not them. So you just gonna be floundering together. But I'm not doing that. I'm not using my energy on you. Shit, they'll go see your mama and daddy for that bullshit. I don't have time. So you asking me if there should be any pity and all this kind of stuff and support from men, support each fucking other. That's what you need to do. Those of you who aren't crazy and depressed and suffer from anxiety and all that stuff, reach out your hand and help your brethren. Because that's not my job and that's no woman's responsibility to take care of your grown adult fucked up ass. You do it. Now, I hope my position is clear. Let's move on to question number 4. Yeah. It's like shit. You got women who's doing more on the manhood scale than you are. And that's why so many of them have given up and now they want to be a woman. Because they fail at manhood. Had you figured that out? The rest of them are into that autogynephilia shit. But in any case, those are some fucked up individuals, and they're not men. Not in my book. They're males. That's all it is. I don't give a fuck what you report. Uncertain times. You keep it up, I'm a hate speech on you. Let me block this fucker. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. And this man's asked me my opinion and I'm giving it. So you don't want to hear it, get your fucking ass off my channel and the problem is solved. Now, the end. Question number 4, female 40 to 49 from Alexandria, Virginia. Probably one of the crazy fucked up people I'm talking about. I want to ask you about ghosting. I'm sure this topic has been brought up countless times, but seriously, how hard is it to say that you're just not interested or there isn't any chemistry or that even that was a terrible date? We probably shouldn't try that again. Hmm. Anything is better than being ghosted. This is the story. I'm 44 and went on a date with a 58-year-old dude. I thought it went well. We even messaged back and forth for days after, but I noticed his responses became shorter and fewer, and now I was initiating all interactions. I listened to your video about matching and mirroring a man's efforts and energy, so I decided to pull back. It's been 2 days and not a word from him, and that's not like what I thought I knew of him. Maybe I'm being a little over dramatic and pessimistic, but I'm so fucking over it. I've been ghosted many times by younger men, but honestly thought that a 58-year-old man would have the maturity to not do this. I'm defeated and have deleted my online dating account. I also considered that maybe he died, but his read receipts are on, and she put a smiley face. I'm going to tell you, in the 40 to 49 age group, and you go on a date or two with somebody, you went on one date, and you message back and forth for a couple of days, and you feel like this person owes you all this explanation and all these words. Okay, as an adult woman on the downstroke to 50, you ought to have enough sense to know if somebody's not contacting you, that means they don't want to fucking talk to you. Okay, and when a man doesn't want to talk to you after you went on a date with him, what does that mean? Come on now, say it with me. That means he don't want to talk to you. And that means he don't want to date you. That means he don't have no interest in you. That's what that means. So for you to feel like you don't understand that and that he needs to say all these words and stuff, I did a whole video on ghosting. You need to listen to it. You listen to the one about marrying, but you need to listen to the one on ghosting. Nobody after one date owes you shit. Okay? And we're all adults here. You know what it means if you don't hear back. Just like you apply for a job and you go on an interview and you don't hear back from them, guess what that means? That means they don't want to hire you. Okay? You apply for a credit card or something. Sometimes they give you a rejection letter, but sometimes you just never hear anything. And you don't know what's going on, but you know you don't have no credit card. So I guess that's the answer. Or you apply to get a rented apartment and you don't hear nothing back from the people that you applied with the leasing agent. So I guess that means that maybe you didn't get the apartment, right? That's usually what that means. So I'm trying to figure out why you guys have all this special interest and all these special needs about a person that you went on one date with, but you don't have them for all these other situations. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So, you understand you went on one date, okay? Let it go. Even if you had been on 10 dates and then suddenly he decided he didn't want to be bothered anymore, he still doesn't owe you an explanation because y'all ain't in a relationship. You just went out a time or two or five. Okay? I don't understand why you are so emotional about this, deleting your account and all this stuff. That's how he's going to know that you all affected by it because you just throwing a tantrum like a big baby. Thanks, Michelle. I don't give a fuck about that. They always complaining about me about something. If I had $1 for every complaint made about me over the years, but people getting their feelings and want to pout and say, I'm reporting you, I would be a billionaire. Okay? I don't give no fucks about that. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. That's just people all the time. You don't have to like it, but I'm not gonna censor what I say because of your feelings about it. You have to get the fuck over yourself. This is a big world, and everybody's not gonna think the way that you do about your whatever, about anything. So shit. Question number 5. Male, 22 to 29 from Philly. I'm 23 years old, My brother has never done anything like this and has always been remarked as an extremely kind and outgoing kid. We're half brothers. Neither of us know our fathers very well. He knows his, but he lives in California and he speaks to him very rarely, and mine is in prison. Ooh. I'm his primary male role model, at least in our household. Today, our mother got a call that he has been put in school suspension for a week. Apparently, he and a group of boys surrounded 5 girls on the track during PE and chanted, we will rape you," and made very grotesque gestures. Nobody actually touched anyone. Fortunately, he admitted to this and will be home in about an hour. Fortunately, he is the only one who will not have sexual harassment put on his school record, and he has very good rapport with all of his teachers and the principal, who were shocked he was involved in this. I've already have an idea in my head how to address this, and I believe he would only do such a horrible thing through peer pressure, which is still a serious problem. No one should be able to peer pressure into doing such an awful thing, even 11-year-olds. But I would like some woman's input, even though, of course, my mother and I have discussed this. What would you say if this were your son? I would, first of all, when he came through the door, I would knock the shit out of him. Okay, I would fire on him. And I would tell him how embarrassed he made me, how humiliated, how he disgraced our family, how he disgraced himself. And I would tell him that I did not raise you to be a follower like that, especially following some people down the road of death and destruction. You're going to fuck up your whole life. And you're going to fuck up your brother's world and mine too, acting stupid. What the fuck is your problem? Don't you ever do no shit like that. And then you know what I would do? I would look into an all boys school and he would immediately be enrolled. I wouldn't care if I have to sell pussy. I would beg to pay that tuition and make sure he was never around any girls because he don't know how to act. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But after I busted him upside his head, he go to school, he have a big old knot on his head where he said, "My mother hit me, damn Skippy." Because what he did to them women's daughters, oh yeah, that's right. Then I would make him go to school and I would tell the principal, call all 5 of those girls in that they surrounded, and I would make my son apologize to each one of those girls and their parents in person, face to face, and promise that he would never do anything like that again. That he understands that his role as a man in this planet is to protect women and children, not to assault them and demean them and degrade them. I would make him do all of that. Then I would make him do some community service somewhere at some old folks' home or something. I mean, I would just load his ass up. He would be so sorry he had done that. But then he would be, like I said, he would be at an all boys school after that. Oh, yes, honey. I would drop the hammer on him. Because, this is the thing about kids at this age. You got to do that to them because he's at that crossroads where he's going to either learn to be a person who thinks for himself and does things that he knows he's supposed to do, or he's going to become a follower. And one thing that, people used to really get upset at me, they say, your kid shouldn't be afraid of you. Oh, yes, they should. They should be terrified of you. They should be more scared of you and what you're going to do to them if they do some fucked up stuff than they are of being teased by their friends. And let me tell you how this goes. Okay. So your kid is in a situation, right? And I'm gonna tell you because I've been in this situation myself. And your friends want to do it sounds fun, right? Like cut school or steal something, right? Oh, it's fun. It's exciting. It's something you've never done before. So you with their friends, right? And so they say, we're gonna do this and that. Okay. Then that's when the Jeopardy music would start to play for me. This is before Jeopardy was even on TV. And so she's going, do, no, 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 no. Okay, so then here's the little devil on my shoulder. Yeah, yeah, it's going to be fun, this and that. And then this is the little angel on my side. When you get home, your daddy's going to kick your ass from here to kingdom come. And then whatever's left of you, your mother's going to get it. And then after that, it's going to be your grandfather and your grandmother. So what you going to do? And I would sit there. Not to mention my older brother getting some too, right? I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, right, do, 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 no, no. And then I would say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go home. Or no, I'm not going to go with you guys. I'm going to go to class because I don't want to get killed when I get home. Something like that. You make a joke about it, but you do what you're supposed to do because that fear of what I would happen to me, what would pieces would be left of me when I got home, far outweighed the benefits, the fun and the excitement of doing that dirt that my friends was trying to entice me to do. And I'm telling you, my fear of my parents was real. And it lasted until I was in my 30s. I still was scared of them. And I was like, so these people that say, I don't want my child to be afraid of me, you're stupid. Your child needs to be terrified of you. Your child needs to be scared, so scared that of disappointing you, of doing something that violates the rules and all this kind of stuff, that they're not going to do it because they're terrified of what's going to happen if they do. That's good parenting. Okay? And you try to be your kid's friend and all that kind of shit, your kids are going to end up in some fucked up shit and juvie and prison and stuff because you were like trying to be their friend instead of the parent. Yeah, no, no, that little boy, he would have I hope you understand this. I'm talking about, you think of every single thing that you can do to make he won't have time to hang around with his friends, not them little raggedy friends. He's not gonna be friends with them no more either. Cause I'm telling you, start looking for a all boys school and put his ass in it. He don't get to be around girls anymore because he don't know how to act. But make sure that he goes to school and apologizes to the principal, to those girls, and that their parents, if they can come, are part of this scene too, to show them that he seriously is remorseful and that you as his big brother are not going to tolerate that shit. How can you balance? Wouldn't they be afraid of coming if they're afraid? No, they're not afraid to come to you. They're afraid of behavior. See, no, that's not it. Your kids know that you love them. They know that you will protect them. They know that you will go to the ends of the earth for them. You will fight anybody and anything for them. Your kids know that you love them and care about them, but they also understand boundaries. See, this is what my cousin said, is the boundaries show. And so many parents don't have any boundaries. Well, I want them to like me. You don't worry about your kid liking you. You want your kid to respect you. Okay? They'll like you when they're older and understand what's going on. You're not there for them to like. You ain't their goddamn friend. And I used to tell my daughter that all the time. I'm not your friend. Don't talk to me like I'm your friend, and I'm not. I mean, we can have fun together and all that kind of stuff, but I'll always be your mother. And you're gonna always address me with that kind of respect. And that's just the way it's gonna be. Any day that you don't feel like you can do that, get the fuck out of my house. And so at a point, that's what she did. And there you go. Yeah, the big brother is going put his little butt in check. He'll be all right. Let's move on. Question 6. Female 22 to 29 from Coventry, England. Coventry? Yeah. Curious question. In my last relationship, my ex pitifully told me that he will, quote, end up having to look elsewhere if I don't send him pictures of myself, end quote. Thing is, he was already cheating on me anyway, getting, quote, footage from other women. If your partner ever told you, if you don't do this or that, I will have to cheat on you, would you leave right after that or give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess? Oh, no. That on the spot, that second, you're not going to threaten me. I don't do threats. I don't do threats. And see, I'm of the mind, well, why wait to do tomorrow what we can do today? So, yeah, it would be over on the spot. The second those words exited his mouth, I would be packing my stuff and be out or throwing him out. You know, but this is a boundary thing. You don't take no kind of threats from nobody trying to coerce you into doing something that you don't want to do. Things that are physical, sexual, moral, across your moral values and all this kind of stuff. This is one. You don't want pictures of you floating around all over the place. You don't know what these dudes are doing with them pictures. Okay? I don't do that. Yeah, you just like, if you don't, I have to look elsewhere if I don't send them pictures of myself. Well, go look, because you ain't getting shit from me. As a matter of fact, don't call me anymore, because this shit here, whatever this is over. Click, and that's it. That's it. And then you found he was cheating on you anyway. Why are you even tripping about it? Thanks, DC. Why is this even a concern? I would be so unbothered by him. Question number 7, male 30 to 39 from Santa Ana, California. I have a dating question for you. Recently, I have been chatting with a girl I know from high school 15 years ago. We had a small fling back then. Then I moved out of town and didn't see her anymore. A few months ago, I had a match with her on a dating app, and it was just after Christmas. I said hi. She didn't say anything back, so I kind of forgot about it. Then 2 months later, she responded, and we started chatting on the dating app. After a while, she gave me her number so we could chat on WhatsApp. We did. It was fun, and she told me she wanted a video call. So we did and spoke for about 2 hours. It was fun, and we can chitty chat on WhatsApp. Now she does respond to me quickly within an hour or so and shows interest, but sometimes she just stops responding, and I wait for like 4 or 5 days. Then after that, I will take the initiative again. This happened a few times now. I don't say anything to her, just wait for her to respond to my question. After 4 days of waiting, I say something to her again, and she responds back, and we continue chatting like we did before. Sometimes I see her online on the dating app, so I assume she's talking to other dudes. I find this is not a real problem since I don't have anything with her right now, but I do doubt her interest in me. I asked her again for a second video call slash date. She didn't respond. I thought she wouldn't respond at all, but suddenly 2 days later, said she thought it was a good plan, and I asked her would she be able to do that, and she responded she would get back to me. But I've been waiting for days again. I'm usually one to take the initiative. Huh. She responds rather in depth to my questions and asks me questions back, but then she suddenly stopped talking for days. So I'm going to ask you two things. Well, finally, do you think she's interested in me? And number two, what should I do now? I'm afraid that if I don't say anything to her myself, taking the issue again, she would not respond and get back to me about the second video call, and everything will fade away. But if I do take the initiative and she responds to that, I will not find out if she really likes me or is interested in me and just responds back because of politeness. Should I not say anything, keep waiting for her with the possibility that she would not get back to me at all? I know she's busy, but not responding for days might be a signal. Should I just tell her, hey, let's stay a week from now if she hasn't said anything to me about the second call, that I will stop and get on with my life again? Thanks, man. You should be getting on with your life regardless. You're not dating. This ain't your woman. This is not your girlfriend. You don't have nothing with this chick except some conversation on WhatsApp and a video chat. Okay, let's put this into perspective, my brother, because you are just going all off in left field somewhere. She is not your girl, so she's not obligated to respond to you in a certain time or at all. Okay, you're not getting it. So, what I would suggest you do is she interested in me? Not really. She sees you as someone friendly, that she want to keep in touch with, but it's not like no romance thing. What should you do now? You should chill. You should be dating other people. That's what you should be doing. And you should hear from her when you hear from her. That's what you do. What is another Dusty? Who's the Dusty? I guess Shay got it. So, well, we don't know if she's dating other people or she's working or she got kids. I mean, we don't know because there's so much that he didn't say about what's going on with her. If someone's busy with their kids and stuff, they're not going to have time to chat with you all fucking day. And they got a job or they're in meetings and whatnot. I mean, they have, stuff to do. But, since they're not like involved, I mean, she feels no pressure to respond to him on any kind of timely way, you know. So we don't know what her story is. But I'm telling him if she could be dating other people, she could also not be. But whether she is or not is not the point. The letter is written by him, so we're not worrying about what she's doing. We're telling him what he should do because he's the one who wrote in and he's the one with the problem. So, we don't conjecture about what other people are doing. That's a problem that I have with a lot of the people that come to the chat. Y'all go into what if and maybe land instead of dealing with the realities of it. This guy is the one who wrote the letter. This is the one who's having a problem. This is the one who needs a solution. And we're not going to be dibbing and dabbing talking about what she's doing. So for you, sir, the proper approach for you to do, since you don't have a relationship with this woman, is to get a relationship going or at least date and have the same kind of little friendly stuff with a couple of different women because you ain't really involved with her, right? So keep that in mind. Question 8, female 22 to 29 from Oaktown. I started talking to a guy a week ago, and we have a date arranged for tomorrow with meals and drinks. He has been annoying me the past couple of days. I don't know if I'm just being picky. Some of the things he has said. I like a woman who makes an effort to impress her man. Nice hair, nice nails, always looks her best. Would you kiss on a first date? Do you think I have nice lips? Then he went on to say, wait, how old is, wait. Let me remind myself. Okay, so you in your 20s. So he probably in his 20s or early 30s. Okay. Then he went on to say, trying to flirt, I think. What's your plans tomorrow? Anything fun? Wink face. So I just replied, washing my hair, ha ha. He replied, oh, you washing that hair to impress me? Are you painting your nails too? I replied, yes. And then he replied, are you doing that to impress me? Then I just mentioned my friend is booked into some restaurant next week, and she's asked me to take a couple of pics of the food. His text, oh, so you're only meeting me to get pics for your friend? I bet you will be making a run for it halfway through. Then asking if I'm wearing a dress for him. Is he just too much? Are these red flags? Should I even go on this date since he's irritating me a bit? I haven't really dated in years. Is this normal? No, it's not normal. He's stupid. I wouldn't go. I mean, but you know, you ain't me, but I wouldn't go because he's putting too much emphasis on what you're doing for him. So he sounds like a narc, trying to see how much influence he has over you, right? So what you were supposed to do, let's go through this and let's see. What would Deb do? Okay, so some of the things he has said. I like a woman who makes an effort to impress her man, nice hair, nice looking, always looks her best. Okay, well, you ain't my man, so I don't feel the need to do any of that. Even when I was married, I didn't feel the need to do that. So maybe I'm not the one for you because I'm not putting all that effort into looking any kind of way other than the way that makes me feel good. That's the only important person in this whole scenario is me. Okay, I would have told him that. Would you kiss on a first date? I sure don't. Do you think I have nice lips? I wouldn't know what you have. It's not for me to think. Then he want to say tonight, what's your plans tomorrow? Anything fun? Wink face. What are you, 5? I mean, and you said wash your hair to impress me. Are you painting your nails too? And you said yes. You were supposed to say I always wash my hair because it's a sanitary thing to do, and I do my nails because I like how my nails look. And I've been doing them since I was 12. It's have nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? You're supposed to like back him up and put him in his place, and you didn't do that. You didn't, check him and kind of corner him. So he kept on doing it because you just by saying yes, you just giving him, and he's feeling like he's getting some traction here. That you're starting to fall into his little trap of doing stuff for him and doing what he wants and trying to please him. See, that's what he's trying to angle towards. So you're supposed to bust his bubble. Are you wearing a dress for him? Yeah, everything is about what you're doing to please him. Have you noticed that? So, like I said, I probably would not. I would not go on this date, and I know the kind of smart shit that would come out of my mouth in response to these kind of stupid questions. And but that I'm not you, like I said. Kimberly, that's a good one. But these kind of dudes, he might do it because then these types that like to control, they want to do that. They'll pay for it, but then you have to do what they tell you to do. Nah. So sometimes that's even though that's funny, and you think that he's gonna run, to some of them don't run, and they feel like you're theirs now. Okay, so that's something you got to be very careful with that kind of stuff. Let's move on to question number 9. Female 22 to 29 from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm 24 and have some dating experience, but not a lot. I wanted writing to ask what the best way is to establish boundaries without making it seem like an ultimatum. Hmm. I try to go with, quote, I don't feel particularly comfortable with XYZ, and I won't stay in a relationship unless you respect that. But my boyfriend, he's 22, so you 20, so he's 2 years younger, makes it out like I'm saying do this or I'm leaving. I don't know what are other ways to establish those boundaries or at least communicate them better. That is good. That was perfect. Now what he understands what it is. Do this or I'm leaving. That's right, motherfucker. Because if you do these things that I said don't do, I'm leaving. And if you don't do these things that I told you I need in a relationship, I'm leaving. Because if you're doing stuff that I don't like or you're not giving me what I need, I have no reason to be in a relationship with you. So you understand everything very clearly. Now, if that's a problem for you, there's the door. Hit it. I don't understand why you feel like you need to change your words around and restructure what it is that you want in order to, not have him say that. Who gives a fuck what he thinks? I'm like, I would have been like, yeah, motherfucker, that's exactly what it is. So either you do shit the way that I like it, or we don't need to be together. Because one thing I'm not gonna tolerate is some bullshit. you crossing the line and doing this, and this. When I told you I'm not taking that kind of behavior, that means that you don't want to be with me. That's the way I would take it. And so then we would be broken up on the spot, especially since now you got advance notice. So if you turn around and do those things, that means that you want to break up, right? Yeah, I mean, at 22, he's stupid anyway. He's too young. Get rid of this fool. You 24 years old. You know, women mature more than men. You should be dating a dude about 28, 29. You should not be dating anybody 22 because he's still too stupid. He's young and dumb. Question number 10, male 30 to 39 from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Deb, I need some help. My partner and I are currently struggling to come to an agreement. We are in the throes of building a new house together. I've come in with substantial financial contributions, and my partner has come in with debt. I've asked for a contract to set out an agreement for our own safety and protection. But she feels this is betrayal of her trust, and I'm just doing it to make her feel belittled. I understand that she feels this is a personal attack on her, but I'm just trying to be fair if things were to go wrong. I'm not hoping or thinking it will, but everyone who is separated was once in love. Hmm. Just as an indication of severity of the issue, one party has brought nearly $750,000 to the sale, the other has bought $20,000 of debt. Am I a selfish jerk for wanting to protect my hard work? Nope. And since she just brought debt and didn't bring no money, make sure her name is not on nothing to do with that house. Okay? Nothing. And if she has a problem with that, then because but basically what it is you're buying a house and she just gonna be living in it. And that's fine. Make sure she signs a rental agreement and that she's a tenant. Better yet, put your house in a trust or a LLC, something like that. So it's very clear that it's owned by a company and it's not owned by you personally. So she can't be trying to get her hooks into it later. See, one thing that it's fine if you want to be deal with a woman who doesn't have as much financial resources as you and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that because I know that's the way it is in many situations. However, what you have to do is be sensible about it. She doesn't want to sign anything, well, then you tell her she can't move into the house and that the deal is off until she does. But like I said, you still go and put your shit in a trust or you put it in, buy it with an LLC so that it's more protected. Unless you're gonna go full out and make it a corporation, but then you need, like a board and all that old shit. It becomes a big deal. Whereas if you do an LLC, you have some of those protections, but you don't need all those extra things. So you've talked that out with your attorney, what the best approach is to take to protect your asset, and then you go ahead and build your house, and then you give her a rental agreement, and if she ain't willing to sign it, then just swap her for a new. Yeah, that's what it says, Rancho Cucamonga, and that is a very ritzy area of Southern California. It's like money. So that's I'm not. You're not a selfish jerk. You're being sensible. It's making a sensible decision. So don't let her sway you. Question number 11, female 22 to 29 from Springfield, Missouri. I'm 28. Me and my boyfriend are 28 and used to make fun of me for virtually everything. But I never noticed until I got out of that relationship. He would sometimes poke fun at me and it would be outright shaming, saying I was childish, simple minded, that my interests were useless in the real world to downright horrid. He thought pop music was stupid. I mean, top 40 stuff, which I love almost all music, including what's on the radio. And when I would counter with, well, I like it and lots of other people do, so the top 40 songs are top for a reason, he would just say that I'm stupid and have no idea how the real music industry worked. Wow, he absolutely hates BTS and I love them. Them little boys can move, I'm sorry. And for some reason, he thought their music and message was childish, and he saw them as not being real man. And I'm okay. You going on? Is it a weird racism thing? Hmm. He also hates all my interests rooted in fiction. He hates manga and comics and the idea of me getting lost in a fictional world because it doesn't matter. It's not real. What's weird is that he was a gamer, would often get what he described as lost in his games, but he always played with friends, so that counted as real to him since it was interacting with another human in a virtual space. Basically, he made me feel like shit for being interested in anything that wasn't cooking or decorating our house. Hmm. But everything else, from my taste in music to what I read and watched, the clothes I prefer to dress, and the shoes I wore, he would put me down for it. Sometimes it wouldn't be outright, and I would be very underhanded and passive aggressive, but it was always there with the threat of him hating the things I was interested in, looming over me and making me feel like I wasn't worthy. I'm so used to that feeling now that I don't know how to seriously enjoy the things I like. I want to get back to normal, listen to music, and finish watching my hero, Academia. But all I can think about when I'm doing it is I'm stupid and childish for being into those things in the first place. I don't want him to have a hold of my life and dictate how I feel, even now that we're broken up. And I'm through with him and I can see his true colors. But I'm just so used to the shame that I feel like I don't know how to function properly for myself anymore without feeling some kind of guilt over it. That's because, you know why? Because you care what he thinks. If you stop caring what he thinks, then this will become a non issue. You know? You have got to care only about what you think. You only care about what you like. You only care about the things that bring you pleasure, and you focus on that. You instead of, well, see, we're gonna do my term again. Oh, honey, yes, I know BTS. I'm a fan. I like her. Them little boys can go. I'm sorry. Their dancing is like stellar. But I was trying to learn that one. Never mind. I'm going off on a tangent. So anyway, in this instance here, you have to reframe this because what you're doing, you've internalized all his criticism as being factual, right? You and some part of you believes what he said was true. And instead of that, you have to look at this individual. What has he done so fascinatingly wonderful with his life that he has the right to put you down? Why didn't you say that to him? Well, motherfucker, I don't see where you so great, grand, and wonderful and got so much musical abilities and talents and shit. Why ain't your ass on the top 40 then? If you think it's so everybody else's music sucks so bad, where's your song? Where's your dancing band? Why aren't you making billions touring the world and have fan clubs all over the globe? Notice how everybody else has those things, but you don't have those. But you want to sit here and complain about it. You're full of shit, sir. Ain't nobody trying to pay attention to you. I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want to wear. I'm gonna dress the way I want to dress. I'm gonna wear my hair the way I want to wear, and I'm gonna do everything the way that pleases me because I don't really care what you think. You're here only here because I allow you to be. But you know we could change that any second. I wish I would have a man say some bullshit like that to me. I told you I don't. You can't even criticize what my writing, what I wrote. You can't. You don't have the right to criticize anything about me. Nothing. The only things out of your mouth better be something wonderful, like how much of a goddess I am or something like that. Then I can let you talk. But you going to start criticizing? Yeah, he ain't selling out the stadium, girl. He ain't be selling out the corner that outside the liquor store. Ain't nobody standing there trying to hear him sing or nothing. You know, I don't know. I would just have to break him down. Just tell him all about himself. So anyway, you need to reframe this so that because you're listening to him and believing what he said, that's why you're giving yourself his message. You're allowing yourself to take over, beating yourself up after where he left off. You picked it up and you continue to beat yourself up in his place. That's what you're doing to yourself, and you need to ask yourself why. I'm just saying. You know how bro they be standing on the corner outside the liquor store singing and trying to do the doo wop and stuff. Well, I don't know if they do that now, but when I was growing up, that's what they used to do. And they would, because everybody wanted to be the Temptations or whatever group it was, Gladys Knight. They wanted to be the Pips and all this shit. So they stand outside the liquor store trying to pretend like they could sing. And sometimes people would stand. I mean, if they were good, people would stand there and maybe throw them a dollar or two or something. But your boyfriend ain't doing nothing like that. He ain't making no money singing. All he want to do is think he gonna criticize somebody. Everybody else who's successful, people with billions, okay? Because BTS is a $1 billion profit making group, okay? They like over there since they superseded the Beatles in revenue, okay? That's how popular that group is. So your boyfriend talking about him, I would just laugh in his face because he don't know what he talking about. Yeah, he don't need Diana said he don't even have a mixtape. Cause brothers be selling mixtape out their trunk. They selling mix. He ain't even got that. Ain't gonna be trying to criticize somebody. Girl, you good to listen to him. Please stop doing this to yourself. Instead, reframe this and laugh at him. Question number 12, male 40 to 49 from Cardiff, Wales. You know what I love about you, Deb? What? It's your sense of humor. You make fun of everybody and everything, and I am with that. I've been on your sites and shows since 2002, and I think you're as funny as shit. I always took it for granted that people had a sense of humor until I started dating after my divorce. Boy, oh boy, I was wrong. I now understand why people specifically say they must have a good sense of humor in ads. I assumed everyone liked to have a laugh, and to be fair, the majority of my dates do, but there have been two that have been deadpan. They don't say anything jokey or understand anything jokey. Perfectly understanding when thinking that I'm not funny, fair enough. Not everyone has the same sense of humor, so that could be true. But these two gave nothing in return, no playfulness, no banter, no light humor, nothing. Quite often I laugh at myself or use myself as the butt of the joke, as using others is just bullying, but I keep it light and self deprecating enough as too much is uncomfortable. The weird interrogation after a joke that they didn't get was so strange. I assumed that it wasn't funny that people would recognize it as a joke. I thought it fascinating. Both came across as a bit tense and aggressive, but to be honest, most women do at first until they trust you enough, although not to this extent. But the complete deadpanness was really strange. They seemed incapable of or unwilling to just have fun. Both women were very good looking and a bit older, married, young, and divorced, and their kids were adults. What am I missing with these two? I need to know because I'm still trying to date, and chances are I will run into someone else just like them. Nothing. They just have a stick up their ass. You know, some people like that. Some women are so self conscious and so afraid of looking stupid or saying or doing the wrong thing that they come across like what you said is in actuality is total insecurity. And, you know, you also have the fact, some people do have, all time, what's it called? Um, Asperger, kind of Aspergery. So they don't get nuance, sarcasm, and stuff like that. They take everything so literally. That's where I'm going with it because of the fact that you said they interrogated you after they didn't get the joke, so you had to explain it to them. So that sounds a bit Aspergery to me. Um, not like it kept them from doing anything. I mean, I give it, everything was successful in their life and had careers and this whole thing here. But it's that kind of stuff tends to come out more in interpersonal relationships rather than careers because, you can memorize stuff and, as long as you do the thing, the chore, the way it's supposed to be done, you can keep your job. You might even get a promotion. But with nuance and feelings and interpretations and stuff like that, they struggle with that. And so, in a relationship, those kind of things with someone who has a sense of humor are very important, as you pointed out, and they just didn't get it. So I'm going to tell you, don't worry about it. I mean, if you run into people like that, just understand that that's just, they're feeling insecure and a little stiff right then, or else they have Asperger's, and either one is somebody who's not for you. So don't worry about it. He admitted he said that maybe he wasn't funny because people have a different sense of humor, but. Um, even on a date, no, I'm not going to say that because of the fact that he had to go and explain the joke to them. That means that they didn't get it. So it's not that he's not funny, it's just that they didn't get the joke. Because if you get a joke, you laugh. Even if it's a stupid one, you still laugh because you might be like, oh, oh, that was dumb. But you still laugh, you still, find the humor in it. But, for the fact that they just was deadpan, that means they didn't get it. So I don't think it's that he didn't have a sense of humor. They just didn't fucking understand what he was saying. Question number 13, female, 18 to 21 from Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm 21, and I want to know if it's wrong for me to continue with someone because he didn't respect my decision of wanting to wear a condom, amongst other things. A while back, I was going to have eggplant with this man, and I told him that it wouldn't happen without a condom. He still tried to do it anyway without one. Prior to that, on another date with him, I didn't want to have eggplant. When I told him that sometimes it hurts, he told me, "Why did you just tell me that? I thought you were just being difficult." My mind is confused because these things show that he doesn't respect me or my decisions, but he did all these cute, cuddly things that's confusing me because I'm starved for attention and I have self esteem issues like forehead kisses, cuddles, calling me cutie. I feel like such an idiot for finding these things so important, but basic respect is something that I overlook. The stuff he did was wrong, right? I didn't miss out on anything, did I? Most men wouldn't just stick it in even after I said I will only have eggplant with a condom, right? Or is this something I have to accept? How do I stop making this distinction between the two personalities and accept that a nice person who's an ass is just an ass? It's been a few months and I keep thinking like I made a mistake or something because I was the one to stop hanging out with him. And I keep having to remind myself of all the questionable things he's done. And then my mind shows me images of the cute stuff. And I'm just, ugh, understand that he did the cute stuff to get you. He didn't mean a word of it. All the mean stuff he did is who he really is. That's where you're getting confused. You're thinking that that's a side of him. He did that because it's part of his seduction strategy. That, in other words, he did and said those things to you to get the panties. That's it. Okay, so reframe this in your mind. Stop thinking that you're missing out on something. And yes, you did well to get rid of him. You should have done it the first time. When you told him that you didn't want to and he want to argue with you about it or try to make you do it anyway, force himself on you in any way, shape, or form, argue with you about your no, try to tell you that you shouldn't be like that. All these kind of things that dudes do, that is the second that you dump them. You dump them right away. There's too many women though. They try to get these dudes a pass when they come at them like that. We worked it out. We didn't. You didn't work nothing out. He just laying in wait like a spider, waiting for you to come back into the web so he can pounce again. I wish more young ladies would take better care of themselves. You do not. You do not put yourself into any kind of situation involving intimacy with a man who disrespects your boundaries like this. When you say no, no is it. When you say you're going to do this and that for my own health and safety, and he disrespects that and tries to do it anyway, that's considered assault. So you have to understand that this guy is an awful, awful person. He's a terrible individual. Don't sit there having any kind of reflection of you missing something and focusing on the stuff that he did and lied to him and to try to manipulate you into giving him the panties. That's all he was doing. Understand what time it is. And you sitting up there talking about you have all these start of attention and you have self-esteem issues. Take your happy little ass to a shrink and start working on that. Because otherwise you're going to keep finding yourself in this situation over and over and over again. And next time it may not end so well for you. Okay? This guy is gross. Question number 14, female 26 to 29 out of the UK. We have moved house and I'm getting bad vibes from the neighbors, not the ones joined onto me, but on the other side. What if she means? Okay, I don't know what she means. I love my last neighbors and we are good friends. We moved in and the neighbors seemed nice. They came around and welcomed us, etc. I will be honest. I like my privacy, but don't mind having a casual chat every now and then. I have a 9-year-old daughter, but I'm not the type of parent that has all the kids over and likes play dates. I'm not into other people's kids. It's just the way I am. Honey, I'm right there with you. When we moved in, the neighbor said that their 6-year-old used to sit on the fence shouting the neighbor's name over and over. No wonder she moved. This raised eyebrows for me. We have been here some weeks now, but every time I open my door, my neighbor is there and wants a long chat, which their 3 young kids try to squeeze past me to get into my house. I tried washing the car one day and the door was open and in they went. They stopped me again the other day for a long chat, and 2 of the kids were literally stood on my toes, right up close to me, wanting attention. But the parents never tell them to back off. Now I'm afraid that has put me right off. They have been inviting my daughter into their garden, which is lovely, and I can't stop it as she wants to go. But I'm getting concerned that this is opening the floodgates. I just know that they have no boundaries, and this is going to lead to a situation I don't want to be in. I mean, the neighbors are all right, but they are very different to me and my family, and we do not appear to have the same values. Do you have any advice? Yes, speak up. God damn it. How you gonna move into a house and let people just bogart you like that? When them little kids come over, you stop them. Their parents aren't to say, look, no kid, I don't want any kids in my house. Go home. How hard is that? And their mother's there say, I don't really have time to talk right now. I'll check you out later in the week or something. I have some things I need to do. I don't have time. And you close your door, lock it, and you go on about your life. And you don't go outside anymore washing cars or doing anything else unless you lock your door. Okay, is that not a lesson that you have learned at this point? And for you to say that you can't stop your daughter from going over there, you don't know how to say no. You got a 9-year-old that you already is telling you what to do and running the house, lady. You sit your little daughter down and say, you're not going nowhere until I tell you that you can go. So I don't give a fuck if they come over here asking if you can come play or not. You say, I have to ask my mama. And then I will tell you no. And then you're going to go back and tell them she said no. Okay? And then they're going to be like, well, can we come in? And I'm going to say no to that too. I want privacy. I want peace. I want time with my family. No. So, you have to you're going to be the one, this is your house. So you have to be the one to set parameters. And you need to talk to that woman and say, look, you guys seem to like a lot more interaction than I do. I mean, I'm cool with my neighbors and stuff, but I don't want to talk to you every time I step outside my door. I don't want your kids coming in my house whenever they show up, just want to. I will invite them over. It's the same I will do with you when I'm ready to have company. But, other than that, please stay at your house and I will stay at mine and we'll interact, occasionally. But all this, every time I step outside, I have to talk to you. I'm not down with that. I don't feel like doing all of that. That's what I would tell her. I don't know. I don't have, I don't have that kind of problem. I just very real clear with my boundaries. And I know is my favorite word. No. Hell no. Fuck no. What I look like? No. No, we ain't doing that. No, where they do that at. Hell to the nah nah, like Whitney Houston. All those no's. So, we're not gonna do that. So you just have to let her know, girlfriend. You being too nice. You letting them run all over you in your own house. Question number 15, female 30 to 36 from Kent, Washington. How do I tell this new guy to chill with the physical contact or else he's going to drive me straight out the door? Sigh. The background story is that I'm dealing with a mental illness and a buttload of trauma from my youth. And I haven't dated in literally years, and now I've gotten myself into something I'm not so sure about. I'm 33 and I do enjoy the attention, and he's 35. We have a lot of fun most of the time, but he has caught feelings, and his intensity with that, plus attempts at PDA after I said I wasn't a PDA person, are really spoiling things for me. Part of me thinks I should just break it off completely and crawl back into my cave for the rest of my life, but my friends and my therapist seem to think I should, quote, see what happens, and that it, quote, doesn't have to be awful like all the other times. I just don't want him grabbing at me in public. He did it recently. We were both drunk, and it was at my house. I was supposed to feel safe here. And my housemate just went into the other room for a minute. I said stop, but I had to physically get up and move myself because he wouldn't stop. It just triggered some really bad shit from the past. But I didn't say anything right then because A, I was drunk, and B, I just felt emotionally paralyzed. I needed to work through it. It wasn't until today that I realized he essentially triggered the PTSD from my assault, and that's why I now want to vomit and never stop vomiting. I know he's doing these things because he finds me attractive, but I don't want to feel like a piece of meat, and I don't want to feel like I've gotten into something bad that I can't escape from. Am I overthinking this? How do I breach this conversation with him in a way that he'll hear me and also respect you? Don't worry about him hearing you and respecting you. What you do is tell him this is the way that it is, and then you break up with him. Now, I'm of the mind that it's like this because, he's a new dude and you already told him, hey, I'm not a PDA person. He's going to do it anyway. Okay. So it's like what you say are your boundaries. You've been very clear expressing them, but he's ignoring them because it's not what he wants. See? So this is the kind of dude that you get rid of. You don't negotiate with him. You don't try to get him to understand anything. He's already shown you the kind of man that he is. He doesn't listen to women's no's. He doesn't listen to what women put in place for their boundaries if it conflicts with what he wants you to do for him. This is the kind of guy you don't talk to, you don't ask, you just say, look, it's over. And he's going to say, why? He said, because I told you some stuff that I didn't like, and you did it anyway. So I'm done here. We're done here, sir. Yeah, see, then this is the reason why I was going to get to that too, Sue. Sue just pointed out, and the therapist knows that. And no, the thing that's unknown though is we don't know how she explained it to the therapist. If she's, you know what I mean? We don't know that part. We don't know how deeply she went into the story of what happened, what the guy did and this and that. But I'm telling you this, your therapist is not supporting your boundaries because you put a boundary in place and then you says, see what, it doesn't have to be awful like all the other times. It already is awful like all the other times. It's already that way. And your friend, don't listen to your friends either. See what happens. It's already happened. Are you feeling me? So these two people, don't ask them anything else. I'm glad you had enough sense to write to me, but your boundaries are important. What's comfortable for you is important. What you don't want to have happen to your body is important to you. And it's important to me. So you have every right to put those things in place and every single right to get rid of anybody who doesn't respect them. Okay? He's grabbing at you in public and stuff. All the things that you said you don't want him to do, he's doing it anyway. And then the fact that he was going to, he wouldn't stop touching you and grabbing at you when you told him to stop. You had to physically get up and move in your own house because he wouldn't stop when you told him to stop. See, no, this dude he's got to go. He's got to go. You don't have to breach this conversation and hoping, like I said, that he hears you and all this. All you tell him is this is over. You don't listen, and I'm tired of just repeating myself. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Stay the fuck away from me. That's what you say to him. Question number 16. This is a female in the 40 to 49 age group from Milton Keynes, Berkshire in the UK. Wow, so many long words. About 20 years ago, doing a row, my husband said to me, I feel like killing you. He ran after me through the house and pushed me in the kitchen. A short while after, he punched his fist through a glass oven door and smashed it. He has never really hit me, but he has done lots of shouting, swearing, and wall punching type of behaviors. He has an explosive temper, which has improved a little over the years. 20 years of that. He still swears and gets very angry easily. The past few years have been difficult, and this past incident has reared its ugly head. I'm questioning and wondering what was I thinking to forgive and move on. He says I'm wrong to bring up stuff from the past, and he said he was sorry. I feel unable to get past this and other things. Maybe I was so busy with young children hoping he would change. But now I can't get over all the things that have happened. He is so frustrated by my attitude and says I'm holding him back. Us back. I seriously want to separate now. He is making an effort and can be kind, but he still has moods and anger fits at times. Am I wrong, as he puts it, to keep referring to the past? Nope, because it means you haven't gotten over it. And this is the funny thing about people. They want to do all kind of shit to you, right? And then because it's not convenient for them and it doesn't get them what they want you to just forget it like it never happened. But for you, see, what I don't understand how you could stay in a situation like that for 20 years and it take you 20 years to just get to the point where you want to separate. Of a man pushing his fist through an oven door and saying he wants to kill me, that would have taken that gone. You don't have to worry. You ain't gonna see me no more. That would have been me. I don't understand this. Saying he's sorry is not enough. It's not enough. You can't get over the things that have happened because it's too many things. If it was just one, then you could maybe get over it. But it's 20 years of bullshit from him, and he wants you to just forget it like it never happened. See an attorney. See an attorney and figure out what you need to do. Get all your ducks in a row. Question number 17, female, 56 to 65 from Brooklyn. Hello, Deb. I've been with my current husband for almost 30 years. Wow. And we have filed for divorce in May 2020. I've been married to a pure narcissist and I'm so done. It's over. My husband has controlled all the finances and real estate in our relationship for years. I have filed for an order of protection because of his vile behavior and harassment of me throughout the home we share. It's been hell, but I'm hanging in there till this divorce is settled. He has also turned our adult children against me as well, but I can't worry about that, Deb. I got to get my life now. It's over. Any suggestions? So it sounds like you guys are still living in the same house together and the divorce is not final yet. And you trying to hang in there until it is settled. And your adult children are turned against you. So you, the only person on your side is you. I'm wondering why, you stayed in it for 30 years. I just don't understand. The other lady's 20 years and you're 30. I can't do this kind of stuff for 30 minutes, let alone 30 years. But he's controlled all the finance and real estate and stuff. I hope you have an attorney so that they can do an accounting. of everything, search property records, bank accounts, because you got they're linked to a social security number. So they can find everything that's open in his name, even if he has somebody else's name on the account with him as the primary shareholder. If his social security number is attached to it, which is a requirement in the United States of America for a bank account, then they'll find where he has money stashed, and you get half, especially after 30 years. So once you get your money, move to another state. Move to some place that you've always wanted to be, some place that's warm and sunny, and that is a fresh start for you. That's what you need to do. Leave them adult children that's on their daddy's side, and that daddy put as much space between all of you as you can, and then start living your life. Okay, start living your life, the rest of the life that you have, being happy. Because after enduring 30 years of this kind of nonsense, I know you're exhausted mentally and spiritually. That's my suggestion. Like, I don't know what's going on. Make go to the Bahamas or something. Shit, go to to an island. I'd be somewhere where they couldn't find me. Question number 18, female 22 to 29. Oh, no location provided. I'm on the fence about this situation and want to get your input. I have my sister's bachelorette and then her shower 2 weeks later. I live with my significant other and his parents. His sister's here temporarily. His sister's very cautious about COVID and asked I quarantine at my parents' after the bachelorette party. I was fine with that because I am traveling. I found out though that my significant other that she also wants me to quarantine after the shower. My mother-in-law is invited to the shower, so me and my mom assumed if I had to quarantine that she wasn't coming. My mother-in-law asked me yesterday if it was on a Saturday or Sunday and said she'd be there. My sister-in-law is also attending a shower a month after that. I feel like the whole quarantine after the shower thing is contradictory. Well, I'll be vaccinated in the house minus my sister-in-law's children. It makes no sense that she's going to a shower a month later and my mother-in-law can come to my sister's, but I have to quarantine after. Should I say something to her? You should say, no, I'm not doing that. First of all, you live there. She's just there temporarily, okay? You live there with your boyfriend and his parents. She's the one who's the guest. How's she gonna be coming in trying to bogart and dictate stuff? So you tell her, no, I'm not gonna quarantine. I'm gonna be right back here. And if you don't like it, then maybe you should leave, because this is where I live and have lived. And my thing is, and especially if your mother-in-law is going to the shower, then you really don't need to quarantine after that. Because she going to come right back to the house, and you going to come right back to the house with her, right? Because she's not quarantining. And if the sister-in-law is going to attend the shower, is she going to quarantine herself? These are very important questions that need to be asked. Your boyfriend should ask his sister that. Like, wait a minute, you want her to quarantine? What's your ass going to do when you go to the shower? Are you going to quarantine away from your kids for a week? What's the plan, sis? And see what she says. But bottom line is, it's not her house. And the only person who can make that kind of issue is the people who own the house, which is not her. And so I would come from the shower and go right back to my room, just as like I usually did, and I pay her no mind. Question number 19. This is a male in the 40 to 49 age group out of Houston. Do you have any insight into what's up with all the oversharing, or is it just me? It seems like the new thing with women is to dump all your baggage ASAP, and it's so overwhelming. In a second message from someone, they detailed, unprompted by the way, why their last two relationships ended, including the drama involved, and it ended with, I'll tell you all the details sometime. I'm all for being a supportive partner, and I know at this age we all have a history. But giving such intimate details about your life so quickly is a red flag to me, and it feels like it shows a huge lack of boundaries. Oh, there's that word again. I wish this were a one-off situation, but it seems like most women that I start talking to immediately want to tell me all about their childhood trauma, their divorces, or recent separations, or other details about their mental health while I'm over here like, I love to tell you about my new herb garden. What's going on with these women? They don't have shit else to talk about and they crazy. But that's the thing with some women. They just want to talk. They want to talk and they want to tell everything. They want to tell all their business, and then when they run their own business, then they start talking about their friends' business or their sister's business and all that kind of stuff. There's a video on this channel where I tell women to shut up and zip their lips and not talk all the time and not overshare like this. But I don't know. I don't understand why, they want to do that. I mean, the only thing I can think of is it's because they want some attention. It's like a sympathy thing, right? Because people be like, "Oh my God, that happened to you. Oh, you poor thing." You see what I mean? So they're getting some kind of boost from getting all these, these repetitive sympathy uh, expressions and conciliatory statements from people that they wouldn't get otherwise unless they hit you with all the stuff to evoke pity. That's the only thing I can think of. But see, with me, it's for someone to start doing that, I would stop them. And I would say, I don't really care to hear all that. I want to know about you. I don't want to know about your past history with trauma and all this kind of stuff. That's inappropriate conversation. Save that for later. Yeah, they don't. They might have some other conversation, but the bottom line is they still do it to get attention. Like I said, it's a thing. They get to feed, they get to feel like a victim, and like somebody is hovering over them, and a lot of people like that. That's why they come up with them sob stories because they want to, they like the people around them say, "Oh my God, you poor thing! Oh, I can't believe someone treated you that way. Oh my God, is there something I can do? All that kind of stuff. They like that. They it it turns them on. But yeah, you should just shut that down. Don't let them say all of that to you. Stop it. Shut it down. As soon as they get started, just tell them no. Talk about something else. Question 20, female 22 to 29 from Lakeland, Florida. I'm 24 and I work in a small office of around 18 people. And one of my male coworkers, he's in his late 20s, has been making it pretty clear he's interested. He stops by my office 5 times a day, asking if I'm okay, need anything all the time, touching my shoulder unnecessarily, making silly faces at me. I've only recently started working here, so it's important to me that I build friendly relationships with my colleagues. I want to remain on friendly terms with him because of the office setting. Also, I'm single but simply uninterested in him. How should I make up a fake boyfriend? How do I turn him down in a way that doesn't make him feel too awkward about continuing to be friendly at the office? Any advice would be helpful. Thanks, Auntie Deb. First of all, you don't let nobody put their hands on you. This touching the shoulder shit, where they do that at? You do this. Don't touch me. I don't like people touching me that I didn't give permission to touch me. Then after that, if you want to maintain friendliness and not really have to say words, because maybe you're not comfortable saying words, you don't seem to be able to find your voice quite yet. You go and find a picture of one of your relatives that's fine, an uncle, a cousin, somebody else's, one of your girlfriends, boyfriends. It doesn't matter who the man is. And you're going to put a picture of him on your desk. That's what you're going to do. And then people are going to be like, "Oh, who is this?" Say, "Oh, that's my boyfriend." Okay. Then that'll send a message to him and all the other dudes that she's taken. Now, keep in mind, some men don't care about that. But I'm thinking since it's at work, he probably will, slow his roll. That's one way to do it. The other is to just just stop him from touching you because the other stuff, making the faces and asking if you're all right and stuff. I mean, that could be interpreted as being interested, but he hasn't actually crossed the line. The only line he has crossed is touching you. So that's what you address. But since you're getting that vibe, then you tell him not to not to touch you, and then you put the picture up of the man, and then you should be all right. Now they don't care about a ring because unless you married. What you got like some little ring that he got dude gave you. They don't care about that. Shit, half of them don't even care if you're married because they be married too and they don't give a shit. They be like, whatever. So I don't know. I'm thinking telling him not to put his hands on you, that's unprofessional. Say let's maintain a professional demeanor while we're in the office. Thank you. Something like that. And then put the picture up. Hopefully that'll make sure it points towards the door so he can see it before he even comes in there. Question 21, female 18 to 21 from Denver, Colorado. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7 months now. Sometimes we have really good days, but on the bad days, it gets kind of bad. Lately, whenever I tell him I'm not in the mood for eggplant or anything eggplanty, he gets really angry. At first, it's because I thought maybe I wasn't doing it enough, but we started doing it up to 3 times a day. And he still gets upset if I want to say no or take a day for a break. He tells us because it's one of the only things I do to make him happy. So who am I to take that from him? Oh, wow. Lately, he's been getting really angry when I tell him no on other things. I'm not sure if I'm actually in the wrong. He tells me that I should never want to say no because of all the things he does for me. He tells me that I'm not a woman and I'm not worth his time when I say no to him. Then tell him, right, you're right. I'm not. Goodbye. What is this, 3 times a day shit? Y'all don't have nothing else to do? You don't have no jobs. You don't have like things to do, study with books, classes, nothing. You just laying around screwing all day. And he complains that that's not enough. Do you understand that you just being a free uh whatever for him? Do you understand that's what's going on here? He's complaining about that. What does he do for you? You're not worth his time and all that stuff. And so unless you're doing what he wants you to do and screwing his brains out 24/7, then you're not worth him being around. I'm telling you, young lady, this is not a relationship that you should be in. Get rid of this fool. You've been together 7 months. I couldn't have lasted a week with a man like this. We don't know if he's an addiction or it's just his way of controlling her, you know. We don't know that. We're not going to jump to conclusions about making medical diagnoses on people. All we do know is that his behavior is controlling and it is mean and it's not taking into your body and your feelings into account at all. So this is the kind of man that you don't have a future with, and so you get rid of him now versus spend 4 or 5, 10 years getting late, engaged to him, married to him, have kids with him, and then decide to leave him. You leave him now, okay? You find a man who respects your no. Question number 22, 30 to 39 from San Rafael, California. So for background, I'm a 30-year-old straight guy. I dated a girl a couple of years ago who was really into guys' butts. She also had an odd fetish for men wearing thongs. I love when girls wear thongs, but I was dead set against it at first. But after some convincing, I agreed to try one when we were having fun and maybe around the house if she bought one for me. So she ordered me a few pairs online and a G-string underwear online. To my absolute shock, they ended up being comfortable as hell and became my favorite style of underwear. My genitalia are sort of on the larger side, and the pouch in the front provides the best support I've ever had. As long as the thong fits right and is the right material, I never feel like I have a wedgie, and it feels in general way less constricting than boxers or briefs. They're also great in the summer with a pair of shorts. You don't get as sweaty down there. Free balling isn't an option for reasons I explained earlier. So I'm now with that girl, not with that girl anymore. I'm nervous about dating because I realize tons of people would think it's weird as fuck. But I really don't like wearing any other type of underwear except thongs and G strings. I have boxers and I usually wear when I wear out with my friends, especially if they're girls. And I think there may be action because I would die if anyone found out I was wearing a thong. If I'm doing anything on my own, lounging around, going out shopping and working, I wear my thong. I have to wear a tucked in dress shirt for work anyway, and I wear longer shirts if I go out shopping or something just in case. I've already had an old woman look directly at a black G string I was wearing when I bent over and then look absolutely bewildered. I don't wear women's underwear. None of them are lacy or feminine. I only own men's thongs and G strings are pretty basic looking, not leather or metallic gold or leopard, no neon, blah, blah, blah. Nor do I wear the ones with the ridiculous looking bulge enhancer pouch. I don't know what that's all about. I know from reading posts on the internet that the majority of women think men wearing thongs is weird. Some even call it creepy. I'm not going to permanently change it up and sacrifice my comfort to please someone else, but will obviously have to tell my prospective girlfriend eventually. But it's going to be awkward. Explain to a girl that my underwear may be skimpier than hers. How do I go about doing this? I have no idea. You know, I'm a relationship advice counselor, not a thong expert. I don't wear them. It feels like dental floss in my ass. I hate that shit. You walk around digging it out, digging it out. I don't like that feeling. No. No, he didn't send a pic because I would have loved to see that shit because I would be holding it up for you to see. But, sir, I this was a very interesting and entertaining letter. But I'm just gonna say this: just do you. So that's what you wear. Don't be ashamed of it. That's what you like. Don't be ashamed of it. Put it on and wear your thong proudly. And then when you decide that you're gonna bust out and it's time to sleep with the girl, then you walk around and show her your cheeks and whatnot, and hopefully she'll like what she sees. But even if she doesn't, too bad. Just take it off and do what you got to do. Oh, oh my God. It's just unusual. Yes, honey, McMurray County. That's where they developed est. So you just should know that place is full of. Okay, let's move on. Question 23. My boyfriend, oh, I'm sorry, female 18 to 21 from Indianapolis. My boyfriend cares about me deeply. He says I'm his best friend and acts very loving towards me, but can't say that he loves me. I've asked, and he just hugs me or changes the subject. We have been dating for a year and a half, though. Will he ever love me? Nope, he sure won't. Because when people really love you, not only do they do things that show it, they say the words as well. I have never met a man yet who fell in love with a woman who was able to hold back from saying it. They usually, I mean, they blurt it out. They just can't hold it in. They just want you to know. They feel it to that level that it comes out of their mouth. The fact that you had to ask and then he still doesn't say it, that means he doesn't. He likes you. I mean, he cares about you and stuff, obviously. He's nice to you and stuff, like you're a German Shepherd or something. But if that's not the kind of work relationship that you want to feel like somebody's pet. You want to feel like there's this romantic heat and this man just can't, he feels like he can't live without you. That's what you want, and you're not going to get it from dudes. So just move on. You done wasted a year and a half here already. Luckily, you young. You're only in the 18 to 21 age group, so it's not a year and a half that you really miss, like it would be like if you were in your 30s or something. But don't waste time on someone who's never going to be able to return the level of emotional connection that you are giving them. The relationship should be balanced, and right now it's out of balance. Okay, it's just really interesting. Okay, so this is the bonus question. Someone wrote in, I wanted to get your response to a letter I saw in a newspaper. The columnist gave a response, but I was wondering what you would say. Here's the letter. Dear X, my wife and I are in our early, I wonder where this came from. My wife and I are in our early 70s. We are blessed with sound retirement wealth and good health, but no mental peace. Our only son is a recovering alcohol and drug cannabis addict. He is married and has two infant sons. Every few months he relapses. Then his wife gets very upset and writes us lengthy letters asking us to intervene and to give her support. In earlier days, her letters insinuated that his addictions were our fault and that we did not give our son enough support in the rehabilitation process, which is not true. We did everything in our capacity. But now nothing is in our control. We try to give advice to our son, but he does not listen, and he lies as addicts do. We do not have the courage to tell our daughter-in-law to stop writing us these letters out of fear of alienating her and losing our contact with the grandsons. She does not understand that the situation is beyond our control, and it terribly upsets us and ruins our mental peace for days after she contacts us. What can we do to bring peace into our life but also stay away from our son's life? You don't have to open your mouth and tell her. Now, this would be okay. I don't know what the other person said. Is this a male? If she didn't say, he didn't say, whoever sent this in did not say he, she. It just says, dear X. But I'm going to say this. Were this me and this my son, I would ask her, okay, you knew he was fucked up. What the fuck you gonna have to have two kids with him for? What you do that for? Now you want to try to put the problem on me after you made a dumbass decision? So don't even you did that to yourself. You chose him. So you chose a fucked up druggy, junkie, alcoholic to have kids by. Don't you understand that what his problem is gonna affect the kids that you have? You shouldn't have had a kid by him. That's the help I'm gonna offer you. Don't send me no more letters. He's a grown ass man. Whatever choices he makes, that's on him. Whatever he decides to do with his life, that's on him as well. Our role in his life is over. We are in our 70s and we're retired and we don't feel like being bothered. So any letter that you write us in the future, email or anything else, I'm going to send it back unopened. Okay, and you want to keep the grandkids over there, to try to punish us. We don't give a fuck because we already had our kid, and I'm not really interested in raising anymore. So that's your problem. Handle it. I suggest you go and look into welfare or some other kind of social services assistance because we won't be getting anything from me. And then that would be that. One thing I'm not going to do is put myself in a position to be codependent, taking care of responsibilities that of a grown individual. This chick made this choice to go and have this baby and be married to this fool, right? And then she chose him. Out of all the men she could have chose, she chose a drunk, at weed smoking, drug addicted fool. That's who she chose. But then now you want to come back and try to say, well, you need to help me. No, I don't need to do a goddamn thing. You made that decision, so you gonna rest with it. And if you can't take care of your kids, go put them in foster care. I'm sure somebody would be very happy to adopt them, but it's not gonna be me because I don't assume other people's responsibilities. That's how I would talk to her, and I would not give a fuck. She would be so shocked, but she would see that her guilt trips and manipulations aren't going to work. I've always waited for somebody to try to do some shit like that to me so I could lose my mind and be just really foul and funky as I wanted to be. Because the one thing I'm not going to do is this kind of stuff. Now, I don't know what this ex person recommended to these grandparents, but that's what I would tell them. I know it's going to be hard because they want to evidently, seeing these little grandsons, it's important to them. But you know what has to be more important to you at 70 is your mental health and your physical health. You're in your 70s. Your body is wearing down. You cannot deal with this kind of stress. It's affecting them. They said they're stressed out for days after. This is not healthy. This kind of shit is going to kill them faster. So they have to think about themselves. You've put in your time. You've raised your son. You've worked for 40 years. You retired now, and it's time for you to enjoy the last years that you have on this planet and enjoy them together while both of you are still alive and healthy. You guys go on a trip. You do stuff that you want to do. Go on an RV if you have to, just to get away from your house and go away from this situation. Okay, leave your cell phone at home or turn it off or something so they can't call you. And go and enjoy your life and stop thinking about this woman and them two kids. That's her problem. Those are her kids. And that man is her husband, and that's their problem. Their kids. That's their problem, not yours. And that's what I would do. And so she wouldn't be writing me anymore after that. I'd be like, this is bullshit right here. I don't give a fuck. That's your husband. You picked him. So you deal with the problem that you brought into your life yourself. And then it wasn't bad enough you didn't marry him. Then you're going to have two kids by him too. Not just one, but two. Okay, so you compounded the mistake. So yeah, I'm thinking at 70 years old, this is some shit that these people just really physically cannot handle. They're going to be killing themselves faster and stroking out or something, worrying about an addict and his stupid wife who's codependent and some kids that they shouldn't have had. Okay? Thanks, Tara. Yeah, you right, girl. I need one in each hand. So I hope you guys enjoyed this thing. We're all flummoxed at this point, trying to figure out, where, what's going on in people's mind. But Candace was right. This is definitely the boundaries column because everybody here needs some help setting and maintaining boundaries. Every single letter, well, maybe except for the thong dude, all the other letters, people were having issues with boundaries and setting them to make people back up off of them or maintaining their boundaries, the ones that they've already set. And it's really interesting for me to see, how people are so fluid and so into pleasing other people while they sacrifice themselves in the process, because that does not happen in my life. Thanks, girlfriend. H Town. I just, it's really sad for me to see that, especially so many young women doubting themselves and asking, is it right for me to think this? Is it okay for me to be upset? Is it okay for me to say no? Why do you need me to tell you that? That's the kind of thing that you should, I mean, you have every right, even if I don't agree with you, you still have the right to say no. That's your body, that's your time, that's your life. Okay? So you decide. You are the queen of your kingdom. Nobody else, just you. So that's what we got going on. We'll be back on Tuesday with What the Fuck Tuesday, our usual programming. Please hit that like button and the subscription button before you leave. If you are not already a subscriber to this channel, become one, join the party on the regular, and make sure you hit the like on the video. I thank everybody for their super chat donations, all your support, my regulars, and to my best love and hugs and everything to my girl Shay the Light. She is the best that I've ever met. Well, not met, but you know what I mean. You guys take care, okay? I'll talk to you real soon. Bye bye.